Okay, I got something cool to show you. A new tool added to the mix. Just another thing to help you change your game up when you're a crafter, a maker, a craftswoman, or a craftsman, to get some pretty sweet results. It's sitting over here underneath this cover. This is a Mecpow X3 Pro laser engraver. Mecpow sent it out to me and asked if I'd do a review video, which is pretty brave of them considering all of the things that go on in this shop. Computers and electronic equipment usually don't mix with a forge, but I can tell you this much. This thing turned out pretty cool. I'm going to show you. So let's get this cover off of here and I'll show you what we're working with. Now, I could tell you that I have limited experience with laser engravers, but that would be a lie because I have actually zero experience with laser engravers. So when you get it, you got to put together the rail system here with the XY axis. The laser comes assembled, but you just got to sit it on the carriage here. And then this is your USB port that connects to your laptop. And I'll show you how that stuff works here in a minute. So you can find a ton of videos, maybe not a ton, but there are plenty of videos online that show you how to assemble this whole thing. So I'm really not going to get into that too much now. I'm just going to show you how I used it or have been using it and some things that you can use for ideas in your maker crafts world. So it utilizes laser GBRL or laser Gerbil. And you could also use light burn too, but laser Gerbil seems to be the easiest for me. One thing, so once you get it set up and you're ready to go and you get it all plugged in, don't forget, this is the one piece of advice I could give you. This emergency stop was down, which wasn't allowing me to connect. So when you turn it on, you're supposed to hear it connect and see it connect. So you can hear the USB, the laptop picked it up. But when you go to connect here, it just doesn't do it. For whatever reason, I was like, why won't it do it? Why won't it do it? And then the thing was the emergency stop. Twist it, it pops up. Then you hear it go. And then you can actually connect. So when you go to tools and install and you do all your stuff to get it going, you'll see the instructions for how it goes. If this isn't lit up, this connect part here, the thing to do is go to tools, install the driver, because that was my main issue, was having the driver connect. So once you do that, yes, let it do its thing, install, and then it'll tell you that it was successful and all that stuff. And I'm not going to get into the technicalities of how the stuff works, but install success. Okay, close this guy out, and then we're going to go ahead and connect it. And you can connect it either with that connect here, or you can connect it with oh, we're already connected. You can see I was going to show you real quick, but it connected all on its own. But once you let this thing actually talk by taking that emergency stop off, my gosh, I couldn't figure out what the heck was wrong. Then what I do to find stuff to actually, like pictures to utilize, you can do whatever you want, but I was thinking, since I do a lot of weapons, obviously, if you know my content, maybe I could use it to engrave some handles, to engrave some material for handles, which is what I'm going to do. So this is, I think I searched Celtic Elven knot design or something like that. Just search for it, and then it comes up. And then I crop, do all my stuff. What I gotta do is save it as a picture. And then I have a file or a folder that I save all my files in, which I just named laser engraver. So I'm gonna name it Celtic. So I'm just gonna name it Celtic knot. Save as a PNG, which seems to work just fine. And again, some of it's gonna be trial and error to figure out what works and what doesn't work. So there's our Celtic knot. Drag it over, drop it in there. Let it do its thing. Now, when you get into the settings, there are different ways to figure out the best settings for what you're gonna do. You can mess with the brightness and the contrast. to get it to look how you want. See, I want it to be a little more defined, so I'm going to turn the brightness down. You can turn the contrast up, turn it down, and you can see what it does. So I want it to have a plain background where there's nothing there, but I also want a lot of detail. As detailed as I can get it, right? So just mess with that. Do your thing. I do line-to-line tracing. I like the diagonal. I want 8 lines per millimeter, and then it gives you a line preview, which is what this is here. And then when you click next, is when you could select the engraving speed, the max, 100% is what I'm going to put it on. Actually, I'm going to turn it down because I'm going to show you on a piece of wood. So if I go to 750, which makes it 75%, right here, 75%, and then this is where you'd mess with your size. So I'm going to use this piece of plywood, 3/4 inch plywood, and I'll show you how to set it up right now. So it's super important that you have the distance of the laser from whatever you're engraving set appropriately. So they send you out, this comes in the pack. It comes with like some wood, it comes with some stainless steel and all kinds of stuff. But what you're gonna do, put it down in the corner, make sure you get it straight. Mainly is to have this thing aligned with the table, to have this honeycomb aligned with the table. And then I'm gonna just do it back here so you can see what I'm talking about. There's a little thumb screw right here. This thumb screw, turn that, and that's what allows you to slide the laser up and down. Rest it on top of that, gauge the thickness that they give you, tighten it down, and then when you pull it out, you're set at the appropriate height for whatever the material is. And if you're using different thickness material, that's when you utilize that. And then I just go nice and gently to the corner. And then you could also move it utilizing the program I'll show you. So we're going to adjust it here in just a minute, utilizing the actual software for laser dribble. So I like where everything's at. Check my size. I might change that in a minute, but what you can do once you click create is it's going to get it all rocking. So how it's going to be. So that right there is what our engraving is going to look like. Once you have it like we had it set down in the corner here, once you have it in the corner where you want it, you're going to want to click this. It looks like a globe. That is your 0 point. So that sets the 0 point for where the laser is. So when you click on that, it tells the laser where the 0 point is. So once it starts, it's going to go. Then when you click this frame right here, that's going to draw a frame around it so you can see exactly where the laser is going to go. So check it out. I'm going to click frame real quick. Now it's going to show you where the frame of the photo is going to be engraved. So far so good. So I like that. So that's perfect right there. So what we're going to do now, since we like that size, and again, when you're using your handles, if you're going to engrave handles or wherever you're engraving, you're going to adjust the size. You'll go back in and adjust that size to make it fit where you want it. So we're going to make sure we hit 0 point again to make sure that where the laser starts is where it starts. And then we're going to hit this play button. Wear your safety goggles, boys and girls. So then it's going. And now it's rocking. So I'll set this up so you can see. And then we'll do like a nice time lapse of the actual engraving. So sit back and enjoy. Now, as that thing's going, some things I can show you now is you can watch the progress of your laser here. So you can see how much time is left and exactly where it's at. But one other thing is the air assist. So you can get an air assist to go with it that runs through the tube and blows air onto the area being engraved. And that keeps it clean. It also prevents it from burning. So it's almost done. You can see that it is right in that top corner. And once it gets to the very end, and those are all the coordinates for the XY axis. Once it gets to the very end, like right about now, you'll see that it zips all the way back, lets you know it's done, and then you're good to go. So we're gonna turn our air off. So check it out. Now that right there would look pretty awesome on some scales handle scales or anything really. A handle for a Celtic axe or hatchet. And again, you're limited only by your imagination. So some of the things I did, I had a previous life. So I wanted to make my old logo just because it's cool. I routed the edges as well. I made a Norse style compass on a nice block, and I just cut to shape and then routed the edges on the router table. I don't care what you say. That's just cool. Look at the detail. Look at the design. I like the background. So in the photo that I put in there, it had this detail in the back. I also was playing on leather because I had a hole in my leather apron here, and I engraved my Yellow Goose Forge logo on it, and then I got rivets that are screw type rivets that I had a big hole right here from all the grinding and everything. But that is a cool way to cover that up. And the possibilities are just endless with all the engraving that we can do on all the different handles now. Is just amazing. It says in the manual that you are able to engrave steel, though I have not figured that part out yet. So if anybody watching this knows the right settings, let me know what they are, so that I can do some steel engraving, and let's check that out. But the Mecpow X3 Pro is definitely a good addition to any maker, craftsman, craftswoman shop to get some things rolling. Really, really cool. And again, the possibilities, you're only limited by your imagination of the things you can do. Really, really cool and definitely worth it. So far, so good. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, bye.